Hey guys, Orlando Nichols here, positive psychology coach and motivational mentor. I want to talk to you real quick about a conversation that I was having earlier today with a gentleman who's recently went through a breakup. And in that conversation, I was trying to coach him a little bit and give him some tools and resources to help him progress and move forward. And one of the tools that comes up is a visualizing the yin yang graphic. And if most of us have seen that, it's the light and the dark together. When we look at those on a piece of paper in a 2D image, we've got a two teardrops kind of shapes that are kind of intertwined and working together. And if we take that to a 3D level, that yin yang is spinning. It's moving. The light is pushing the dark is pushing the dark is pulling the light, and the tail of the light is pulling the dark. And that is our lives. Using just that principle, this idea of hurt and pain, and how often we want to move away from pain because it's uncomfortable. Experiencing pain is part of life. Experiencing hurt is part of life. We were created with the emotion to feel sadness. We were created with that ability. That means it has a place in our life. And learning to work with that sadness, to work with that feeling, and discover what it is that we're to learn, how we can grow from that, that's the process that leads to well-being. If we were living in a utopia where there was no pain and no hurt, honestly, it'd be a pretty boring place, and we wouldn't be living to fulfillment. So I believe we were created with the ability to feel all emotions, to feel pain. And if we spend our lives continually looking on how we can avoid pain, how we can move away from it, then we never actually get to fully live in the moment. If we're constantly looking in the past at mistakes that we've done, or we're constantly looking into the future and looking for ways that I can head off pain and I can head off hurt, I'm really not in the present where I can actually control something, where I can actually do something for myself and my loved ones. So we can't control the past. We can't change the past. We can't control the future. All we can control is ourselves and our reaction in this very moment. So the key to happiness is to bring ourselves back into the present, to live in the moment, and to ask ourselves, what do I want right now? And then go do that. And the next moment, what do I want right now? And then go do that. And that is where the wellspring of life is. To connect with ourselves here in alignment with our number one circle, and both our internal on us, our internal spirituality, whatever that looks like for you, to connect with that, decide how we want to be in this moment, and what decisions we want and what we want to do and we want our lives to look like right now, and then move on that, and then do that in the next moment and the next moment. So this idea of yin yang is that we're not supposed to get through this life without hurt. We're not supposed to. We're not designed that way. We're designed to utilize it, to experience it, and then it is to give us information to move us forward. Remember, in the yin yang, the dark is pushing the light, and the light is pushing the dark. It's a spinning. And so in this life, the darkness, the hurt is meant to tell us something, is meant to drive us toward experiencing love. I mean, ultimately, that's what it is to drive us to experience love, including love for ourselves. And so in the moment when we've had trauma, and we've all had trauma of different types, when we go back to looking at what that trauma that exists, if you want to change your life and you want to really overcome and heal from that trauma, working through it to get to a place where you can ask yourselves, what can I learn from this? What can I be thankful for in this? And that can be very difficult. And a good coach can help you work through that. There's some processes with that, and some tools and resources that we can give you to help you get through that. But ultimately, the goal is to take that hurt and that pain, and if we can get to a place of saying, okay, that darkness, that trauma exists, is there an opportunity for me to grow from that? is there something in that for which I can be grateful and thankful? And you've probably heard me talk in other videos about a gratefulness journal, how it is one of the most powerful tools in existence for grounding ourselves and working towards our own happiness and well-being. Taking time to do 3 to 5 things per day and put it in a journal, 3 to 5 things that you are thankful for, that you're grateful for in your life. We can do that same thing with a traumatic event. If we can work through and find 3 to 5 things that we can be, that could be potential, just even if it's just potential gratefulness in that. Maybe you're not there, and it's a process. It's hard when you're grieving. It is hard. But finding the meaning in that, finding something that you can be grateful for, that's a step towards healing. So allowing the dark in the yin yang to drive us towards the light, that can be life-changing for us. So I encourage you to, if there's something, some heartache, some heartbreak that you're dealing with, it will continue to show up in your life. It will show up in your life until you grieve through that, until you process through it. And running from it, that doesn't work. It shows up somewhere. We can, and I'll take it from me. I used to be a master of whatever that traumatic event was. I would box it up. I would put it in another box and another box and a steel box, and I would duct tape it and I would screw it and I would glue it and I would hide it on a shelf in a closet as far back as I could, thinking I would never deal with it. And it doesn't work that way. That's not how life works. It shows up because our body and our mind, it knows it's out there. And it keeps telling us, we got to deal with that. We got to deal with that. We got to deal with that. So running from hurt and pain does not work. Instead, get with a good counselor or coach and start to work through, and maybe you can even do it on your own, spend some time with the hurt and the pain. And if you need some tools and resources, reach out to me, reach out to another coach. You can go to our website, authenticlifenow.com. There's a plethora of tools and resources on there, things that you can do to help you with that. So I certainly wish you the best life. Reach out if you have any questions. Thank you so much.